and welcome back to Pulling Focus Podcast. It's been far too long, and we had to come back with a vengeance, so I brought these two idiots with me. We have Danny O'Reilly and Vincent Flood, who's too far away from me. Hi, buddy.
Never too far.
Never too far.
Never too far away.
Are you guys pounding over me?
Just pounded over you.
Where they're pounding on you. There you go. Double hit.
Simul pound?
Simul pounding.
Okay.
So
We're
let's.
that kind of movie?
Yeah, well, it's the way it works. It's never gonna end.
No.
Never gonna get
So yeah, we took a little hiatus. I just so happened to put together a new studio for me and my friends.
This is new?
This is new. This is the first time I've done my podcast in this studio.
Well, I mean, we're not on your couch anymore, so that's a relief.
You like it on
well,
the
at
couch.
least we're not on the couch right this minute. Hey,
That's afterwards.
You guys want to handle that before or after these shows?
Well, that's what we invited you. Get a referee.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we're back in action. We're gonna try and do these on the regular again.
These are water glasses.
They are.
Engine
Fresh,
oil.
refreshing.
Non-script glass.
Gotta keep you guys
glassware.
hydrated. It's gonna get hot in here probably. So
With a peach aftertaste.
well, that's what you call it. So we are.
Hope you ate your pineapples.
Oh wow, that's yesterday. So we'll get back into it. If you haven't seen or heard the podcast before, basically we talk about TV and film industry.
Shit.
Yeah, I'm sorry. This wasn't what you thought it was. We go over things like how you got into the business, stories from your experiences, things like that. So let's do a little introduction. Danny, why don't you give a little intro how you got to here? How long of a journey has that been?
No, wait. Specify how he got to here because he walked here because.
That's the only thing I care about.
Okay, now, or do you mean
The 100-yard walk.
Like,
how did you get to...
100-yard walk. It's a movie I'm writing, starring Vinny Flood, who can't seem to walk a street.
Idea.
Yeah.
I thought you said 100 centimeters.
I live.
What are you, British?
I live 200
Yes.
yards away. I've been in LA 6 years and 4 months.
Okay.
This is career choice number 4, I think. Yeah, 4. The journey started after school playing football in college, thinking that was how it's going to go down. I'm just going to play there for a little bit.
Position?
I was a running back in college.
He was a receiver. Don't
Well,
he was a slot back.
That's when I got to Hollywood. I started receiving, and it didn't go so well. I dropped out of school, and like 4 schools later, said college is not for me right now anyway. So I went into corporate America. A few years later, I went back to school, studied journalism, and that was after a brief semi-professional football career, my rookie season. Forgot to mention that. That's not a big deal as it pertains to acting, but I split my head open on my second year, in the middle of my second year.
That explains the acting part.
Yeah. All of a sudden, I moved. And then I woke up the next day, and I swore I'd never put a helmet on again. And then I went back to
and that's why you have herpes.
from after parties, football games, sure. We did travel to a lot of fun cities.
Sorry.
And
Idiot.
yeah.
Yes, I am. Sorry.
It's going to be a long podcast, I can already tell.
Let me get this out of. Let me get this bull.
Sorry.
Let me get this serious.
Yeah, let's get real quick. Cut to the fat.
Yeah. And I went to. So and then I started journalism, and then finished school and went out to Denver, or not Denver. It was in Colorado. It was a news anchor, CBS affiliate out there, and everything was going as good as it can get for a new guy behind the desk. 2 days off were Thursday and Friday. And those 2 days I spent up in the local resort that we had like an exchange with. We cover all the stories, and everyone could just go and board and ski there. Wiped out real bad one day.
Oof.
And slipped 3 disc, fractured my elbow, wrist.
Jesus, man.
And like 2
That was on the Bunny Hill?
Yeah. No, actually, it was in the parking lot. Like getting my board off my car. And 3-4 weeks later, I ran out of money going to physical therapy. People trying to figure out what it was. And then the station's like, well, if you can't work, we got all these kids coming out of school, don't want your job. I'm like, all right, no hard feelings. I'm not going to do anything about it.
Wow.
And just went home. And 4 or 5 months later, I was back to like being normal, active, and blah, blah, blah. And just said, screw it. Corporate America is what it's going to be. And then after a few years, just the thought of acting just always festered. But here I don't know how it became such a big deal for me. And then I just made a plan to move, and everything that I wanted to happen happened. So I just said, screw it, I'm going. I packed up my car, had a couple bucks, and I just Google mapped or whatever it was at the time.
Quest?
This is 6 years ago. Quest, no, I put it in my TomTom.
Printed out?
I put Hollywood in my TomTom.
You guys had TomToms?
Yeah, the stone chisel back
I
there.
had the Thomas guide.
TomTom.
He's got the map that's this big and rolled up in the.
Dude.
Yeah, I almost got in some accents. 'Cause it was I don't know.
Where am I going?
So I got to the Starbucks at Santa Monica in Fairfax.
Wow.
That was the first thing. I pulled up into the Whole Foods, parked it there, got a ticket.
Welcome to LA.
I know. Well, that was my welcome.
Very true welcome.
I call people back home. Like, I'm here. I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Yeah.
Anybody got any friends? Should have thought about this before.
Should have called the guy.
But I had enough cash and money, whatever to like get a hotel for as long as I needed. I thought. And then I stayed at my buddy's futon. 2 weeks later, a friend of a friend was like, "Oh, I'm not gonna let you live like that. I got a spare room. Come stay here." So just about a lot of fortunate events like that and favors, yada yada. Next thing you know, this guy wakes me up at a bar I passed out at, watching my Chicago Bears play.
Oh, Bears.
And he's like, "Hey, you want a job? I heard you bartend." 3 months later, I'm managing that place. Owner gives me the keys and
Nice.
just never shows up.
Wow.
Place is called Varsity on Wilshire. I got to know a lot of people that I'm still friends with today.
I feel like it's
It's still open.
Now, no, it closed for a while. Then it was Rivalry,
hands.
which I think that location right now has nothing in it.
I could have swore I drove by and it was still had the sign.
I mean,
well, maybe it's just the sign.
Yeah, someone could have broke in and you saw him in the window.
You know.
It's Wilshire and Crescent Heights.
Vinny still goes. He's a regular.
The service here is terrible.
I'm just waiting for him to open the door.
I mean, I got my pants open. And nothing's happening.
That's by the metro station.
Yeah, right. No, that's what I've come to learn is the first job you have in LA. It seems like that's where the biggest bonds of friendship kind of fester because
Don't tell me that.
that's what happened with this guy
Yeah.
at the old Hard Rock Cafe.
Yes.
So you guys were cleaning toilets one night.
We were, I was miserable as a guy cleaning toilets. But yeah, he was bartending and I had moved from LA or Las Vegas to LA. And I worked at Hard Rock out there. And me and this idiot bonded over the Sequest days of his lore.
The early days.
The early
of
days.
Shooting nothing but 35 millimeter on TV shows.
Yeah, so I was young enough to watch it. I was young enough to watch it, and this, and that's we bonded over that. So, but yeah, it's kind of interesting. The path a lot of us take is on a whim. Like we kind of get a wild hair, and fuck it, we're doing it. You know what I mean?
I love everybody's story like that.
Everyone has a great.
I love
coming
my
to LA
story, and then I tell people like, my dad killed my mom right in front of me, and I ran out of the house. The next thing you know, I'm in Hollywood auditioning for movies. Just weird, wild stories.
It's kind of like mine. I mean, I was a senior in high school. I was working the drive-thru at McDonald's, and this guy Raul came pulling through.
Raul.
Came pulling through.
You got a big black leather couch waiting for you?
Next thing you know, watch out. I was getting paid in donuts. But it was worth it. They were delicious.
I can just picture the van he got into.
Just kidding. I never worked at McDonald's. It was Hardee's.
You're such an idiot.
Bump thing rhymes. Is that Hardee's or Arby's? I don't know. It's Arby's.
Well, here's
It's all the same meat.
Carl's
Hardee's
Jr.
is Carl's Jr.'s.
Yeah.
Hardee's is East Coast.
Yeah.
Hardee's.
I don't know why they fabricated that.
Back
stuff.
in the days, man.
Yeah.
Same thing with Checkers and Rally Burger.
So yeah, that's unfamiliar to me.
Out there is Checkers. Over here is Rally Burger. There's one
I've
on
never heard
Venice.
of both.
Checkers I've been to. Rally Burger.
Delicious. It's delicious.
I can tell Vinny's hungry.
Yeah. He already asked me.
He's like,
what are you going for dinner?
I only had a half a rack of ribs before I got in here.
Oh wow.
Oh man.
Yeah. So.
All
I'm
right.
kidding.
Keeping it warm in here. I
That's a
appreciate
good
that.
response. That was organic. I think we're going to call you back. I think you booked to the non-speaking role.
Mom, guess what? It happened. I finally got one.
You'll never
I
guess.
got a call back.
Amazing. This is what I deal with on a regular basis. But I love it. It's people here are. I feel like it's half and half. It's the ones that are like ridiculous and genuine and have the most motivated people I feel like are the most genuine.
Yeah.
The ones that are kind of
Pedigreed into
have the mentality of it's kind of owed to them. I don't feel like they have that same drive.
Man, when I moved out here, I met a bunch of people when I first moved out here, and I cut literally like 11 or 12 people out of my life in the first 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
I use the term energy vampires because that's what they do.
Yeah.
They leech onto people that have positive energy. And it's usually the people that just kind of move out here and they're all energetic and they're like, yeah, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Jump on you and they just suck you dry. Ooh. So,
We're talking about acting today,
are you sure?
not your balcony.
I mean, let's be honest.
Hey.
Don't they go hand in hand?
Sometimes.
Yeah, me too.
Sometimes hand in mouth.
That's not a laughing matter, Daniel.
That's a gagging matter, but put a gag order on that one.
No,
So how about your journey?
my journey.
37 years ago when you moved to Hollywood.
My Jenny or my journey?
Tell me about Jenny.
Ooh, I just got a nut slug.
It's a Me Too moment right
That
there.
is a Me Too moment.
That's some black magic there, bud.
Oh,
That's
how did you know?
Just shot a film up in big. Well, not the last one, but before.
Oh, because you work
I
so
love my
much.
little black magic camera.
That's
Yeah, it works so much and no one's heard of me yet.
I've heard of you, Danny. I have.
My dealer's a
and I'm
huge
somebody.
My biggest fan is my dealer.
Oh, man.
You're gonna make it,
He's
Dan.
got good taste though. So
Yeah, mine started when I was a wee lad.
A wee lad.
A wee lad.
we lad in the hills of England.
My mommy made me shoot this like thing for her school. Back when print,
that sound so-
when print was black and white.
What kind of school shooting are we talking about, Jenny?
The good kind, okay, not the kind you're hearing about
The
now.
one with the editor.
Now, honestly, like my first big like moment when I fell in love with acting and just the entertainment life in general, I was a freshman in high school, and I had to take an elective to fill up my schedule. So I took Intro to Drama. I was like, yeah, it's gonna be easy, blah blah blah. And I had such a great time in that class and great experience with my teacher at the time, Larry Westfall, that. He made me, he asked me if I would go audition for the school's one-act play, and I did. One-act plays. And I did. It was all about teenage pregnancy, and it mirrored my real life, so I just said yes. No, I'm just kidding.
No acting for you necessary.
No, but like through the relationship I developed with him, and I lived in a town called Sarasota, like Braden, Sarasota, Florida. It was a very artsy town. FSU had their graduate film program there, so they were always looking for actors to. Come on, man, turn your phone off. They were always looking for talent to help out with their student films. So I ended up auditioning for some of those, got cast, and then I started working behind the scenes with them too. Learning the ins and outs, and I ended up.
Sorry,
It's okay.
for the record, we bartend together. There is no comment. Safe.
But I ended up, becoming a grip and an electric, and they were pulling me out of high school.
It's too easy.
He does have an electric grip.
Touché, well played. But it was awesome because for me, I was 16 years old. They were getting me pulled out of school to do what was called career experience. So fuck you for having that much hair.
I second that motion.
Auditioning for Disco Jesus. Apparently.
Sexy Jesus. No, but yeah, so like that was how I kind of started working behind the scenes and just in film, and I fell in love with the whole process. And then I ended up coming out to LA after I graduated for a month just to kind of check it out, see if I liked it. And at the time, a few months ago, prior, I auditioned for Robin in the Batman Forever movie, and
That's right. Yeah.
went through like third callbacks, and they ended up giving it to Chris O'Donnell. Of course, none of us stood a chance. But I met Mally Finn, who is a really big casting director in her day, and she unfortunately passed years ago. But she was like, "Look me up when you come out to California. I want to set you up with an agent and blah blah blah." So back then, I didn't have a cell phone. I didn't even have a pager. Like I came out here, I didn't know anybody, so I had no way of really contacting her. And 18 years old, you can't rent a car. You're kind of like, yeah. So I ended up, suiciding only one school, and that was the University of Central Florida. Ended up there because I was like, okay, Orlando. Everybody's talking about it being like the next Burbank of, the East Coast, and a lot of TV work was going on there, and this and that, and they were shooting Sequest and. Sequest, a bunch of other stuff, and I'd done some commercial work. I'd done like McDonald's commercial with Michael Jordan, Disney, yada yada. But
Jared.
Some centerfolds.
Subway with Jared. I'm just kidding. It wasn't. Burdines, Belk Lindsay. No, I'm just kidding about that too. I don't even remember those days. Don't even remember those days.
Clue.
Gone are the days of the mall. Gone are the days of the mall. When J.C. Penney's actually, if you booked the J.C. Penney's catalog, you were doing well.
That was it.
You had arrived, man. You were there. No, but I ended up doing like a couple days as extra on Sequest in their second season, which happened to be the first season that they were shooting in Florida. And I ended up like kind of becoming friends a little bit with the casting director, Mark Mullen. And on the third season, I went back for another, day to work as an extra. And he asked me if I wanted to be what was called bridge crew, which, we were regular characters on the show, but none of us ever had any dialogue.
Yeah, you had titles and
but it was
names.
I had a name. I was D. Flores, and I was bridge crew.
I thought you weren't going to admit that.
No. Of course I was going to admit that.
Okay.
That was the other D.
The other D.
Stormy Daniels.
Yes, please, let's get political.
Away we go.
No, not yet.
No, okay.
But I ended up
This is not the venue.
I ended up doing, I think, 11 episodes on the third season as, D. Flores, and literally just bridge crew. And it was one of the greatest experiences that I've ever had in the film industry, even though I've never... I didn't have any dialogue, and I've done bigger stuff since then. The way that crew operated and the way that the cast operated, they were all so great that they made you feel like part of the family.
That's cool.
And it was such a huge undertaking. I mean, the show was on NBC, and I don't recall the exact budget, but I think it only had like a $2 million budget per episode. And back in the mid-90s...
Not bad.
NBC primetime. Think about it. I mean, one Friends character got paid that a week.
At that time?
Maybe like after that, maybe close to
maybe a little bit. It was still 90s, but
like what they paid for like an episode of Kids Incorporated. Because I know you made fourth callbacks for that.
Oh, Jesus. But I will say this. I mean, I didn't get paid shit, to be honest with you. I think I made like anywhere from, back then I was non-union too, so it was like 75 to 150 a day depending on the hours you worked.
Yeah.
Like if you got golden time and whatnot, you got second meal, you got after hours, whatever. But
now that's minimum wage in California.
Right? They definitely got their use out of us because like they used me as photo doubles, as stunt doubles. I mean, if the ship got rocked by a missile, guess who was thrown down? Guess who was thrown down a staircase? But yeah, I mean, I had like I said, I wouldn't trade that in for the world. It was a great experience. And
you had a long run too, right?
What, with Sequest?
Yeah.
Sequest only had a 3-year run.
Well, you were on Liberation, right?
I did 11 episodes on the third season, 2 on the second. But like I said, just meeting all those people and getting together, I still talk to a lot of them.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Today. And the funny thing is, that was your favorite show growing up.
Well, it was one of them. It was like
sorry, Kids Incorporated.
Granted, we had like 6 stations.
Space Coaster, so I didn't have a whole lot of option.
You had the dial TV that only had UHF.
Pretty much, dude. It was bad.
Yeah, we had the pliers.
Yeah. No, my dad's favorite joke was, "I don't need a remote. I got you."
Fair enough.
So
the shoe to the head.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. But I did. When I was in Florida, I still had some great experiences. I knew I always had to move out here.
Yeah.
But I had some great experiences while I was in college. As my mind goes to a whole other set of thoughts. I'm sorry.
That's a different podcast.
I mean, you were still making movies in college.
I was still making movies. I was filming it myself. I had the handheld on the shoulder.
Why is that on the tripod over there? It's for film
class. What is that red light? What is that red light?
Just means it's charging. Now get back down there. Speak to the mic.
I'm crying.
It's sweat, bud.
Yeah.
Cut. Take it again.
But that was when I also had my first big role in an indie. I played Doug Wilkins in a romantic comedy called Man Trap, and that was a huge thing back then in Florida. And honestly, the budget was like $100,000. But $100,000 in Florida back then, especially when you got all the free equipment through the school and everything else that, that was a huge deal. And there was a lot of articles. It won some awards and film festivals. Unfortunately, it never came out because the director decided that the deal that he was struck wasn't good enough for him, so he decided to shelf it. And so that film, if you saw it, then amazing. You're one of the only few who have seen that movie because he
one man fan club.
Like you can't even get it as an actor. Like I was like, can I get a copy? They're like, nope. I was like, you can put my name on it.
That's such a heartache when there's many people who, has to have a team to make this thing, and then they put in their best effort, and then it. I was in my last semester of school. I almost flunked out because I was trying to do school and be on set at the same time. I was literally filming 12 hours, getting in my car, driving back from Cocoa Beach to Orlando, and it was like a 45-minute drive. And I'm already a bad driver when I'm tired. I'm like, so
that's not tired.
That's not tired. That's just what is that?
It's whiskey, bud.
It's vodka. What's one of your favorite projects you've been either? Front of the camera, behind the camera.
Oh man! Oh boy! Yeah, it's a tough one. There's a few.
They'll have their like.
Yeah, I know. I mean, the first thing that comes to mind as far as my favorite was I was a humongous fan of Boondock Saints.
Oh yeah,
one of my favorite movies.
Oh yeah,
great. The McManus brothers, who we know those two have gone on to do great things.
Overnight.
Yeah, and Norman Reedus, obviously everyone knows who he is.
Killing it.
Yeah, and Sean Patrick Flannery makes a ton of money making 10 movies a year. He's great guy, great actor.
Young Indiana Jones, man.
Yeah, I mean, you name it. Powder was.
Powder's one of my favorites, too.
But I got the chance to work on a film that is still in a distribution deal called 100 Yards, about a kid who forgoes like the number one draft pick to go find his mom who gets in an accident overseas, and then he finds it's like a journey with himself, but. Flannery plays the reporter who wants to go find out what's going on. This kid just disappeared. He's going to be the next big thing in pro football. And I play his agent.
Got it.
His sports agent. But I got to spend my favorite story about it, I guess to your point, was we spent a lot of time together for one week with Flannery. And I just remember the presidential debates were going on.
Oh, perfect.
And I just remember watching, like every day when we would talk about politics, whatever. But we watched one of the presidential debates, like on his phone. Like we're just sitting there between takes.
Like just doing one of these.
Just watching his phone. I'm like resting on his shoulder, like whispering, I want to be in your next movie. Stuff like that.
What do I have to do?
But it's just fun being around that guy. I don't know. There's a few. I mean, it's just exciting to be. I love being on set. And even when I was done shooting, I said to the director, I'm like, I'm gonna come and help out if you don't mind. He's like, yeah, of course.
That's great.
So yeah, it was just.
Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's fun just being on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being around it, surrounding by it.
I always kind of relate it back to stand-up comedy, but there's this thing about being in a creative environment like that. And getting instant feedback for things, right? And what's funny is like a lot of the crew were just so jaded by all of it that I know that a lot of comedic actors, especially, their whole goal is to make the camera guy crack. And I like that. I like that spirit. I like that. That amount of energy it takes for an idea to be put forth and capture it many times as it takes. And everyone's there doing the best they can to make that a reality, and it's
listen. I always said like I've been in this business for a long time. The best thing you can always say about like the people that you surround yourself in this business, and you know what I'm going to say, if you can work with this person for 17 hours a day and still have a beer with them afterwards, then these are the people. Or a cocktail. Yeah. These are the people that you want to be in business.
I don't drink, but I'll cheers my water.
No, that's very nice of you.
He's so full of shit.
Just loosen it up, boys. Just the pressure, peer pressure, guys.
Whoa. No, it's like one of the most awkward like experiences I had on any project was your short.
Yeah.
Boulevard.
Yeah.
Because I had to play that homeless guy, and because we were shooting guerrilla style, like I had to really.
You were. I kicked you out in the.
Well, it wasn't like we fucking had full setup rigs and everything. You had a camera across the street, and I really had to panhandle.
Yeah.
You know how fucking awkward that is to have people staring at you like you're a fucking hobo. You're just sitting there, and they're like, "Your fucking legs work. Get up." And I'm like.
Like trading places. You're
like, oh my god!
Murphy.
Yeah,
I have no legs.
Just slide it along.
Slide on the subway or whatever that bus.
Yeah. No, but I mean, like, when I had such a great experience with that, and I know we're supposed to reshoot it eventually.
It'll happen.
Those are the experiences that you always take along with it, and those are the things that you'll always remember. No matter how big you get and how much money you're making, it's that strife that happens in the beginning. Mm-hmm. That's what keeps you going. I mean, it's cliche-ish, but it's truth. It's never about the sprint, and it's all about the marathon.
Yeah, it's well, one thing that I've mentioned before, I think even probably on this podcast, is I've always been inspired by your dedication. And despite as many pitfalls as there have been in thousands of projects you've been a part of,
like the video game, because I've jumped on a lot of alligators.
It's one of those things where your tenacity is just you have to have it. You have to have it.
You have to.
And it's like a younger guy like myself who hasn't been involved in as long as you guys have. I see how hard it is to even get to a monicum of down the path you want to go down. It's strife, but it's one of those things where I feel like it's a tipping point too. You build enough, and it'll eventually.
Well, the greatest thing now is, I think, technology and the way the whole business is working now has come to such a crescendo that it doesn't matter who you are, you can get something made.
Oh yeah,
you can get something made. Back then, I mean, you were either an actor, or you were a producer, or a DP, or you couldn't really wear
more than one hat. Yeah.
Now you can wear multiple hats, and to be honest with you, I've been having a hell of a lot. Well, you kind of have to, absolutely. Yeah. But I've been having so much more fun.
No one wants just to write. Well, writers are different.
Nobody wants a writer producer, because nobody wants the writer on set that's going to be like, no, you can't change that line.
Yeah.
No, motherfucker, you're getting your project made. You let that line go.
Yeah.
You make concessions, and that's the whole thing. When you make a film, when you make anything, a TV show, a project, anything, I always consider you're going to war with people, like not in a bad way. Like your forces, you're teamed up.
Yeah, you're going to battle.
Because every shot you go to get, every scene you go to make, you are literally in battle with something. Whether it's the lighting or it starts raining or the elements or whatever, you're in battle with people.
Yeah.
So again, it goes back to what I said. You have to really love the people that you're working with, or you have to be getting paid a
lot of money,
ton of money to make it.
And when you do get to both, that's
and that's ultimately what we all kind of strive for. But in the same respect, I'm at the age now, and I've come to the point in my career where I just want to be happy.
Yeah.
And I want to do what I love. I'm not trying to be a superstar anymore. I'm having more fun working behind the scenes, writing, creating, and producing with my production company. Three Roads Entertainment with my partners Tom and Tom. No, I mean, I still love acting and I'll still do it, but that's not like my focus anymore, really.
Yeah, you definitely evolved as the years have gone.
But again, and that's what I'm saying, like now you can do anything.
Yeah.
You have to take the time to learn, and you definitely.
It's a learning curve like none other.
I've stubbed my toes so many times. I've had TV shows stolen from me. I've opened my mouth in the wrong situations where people have heard the concept, and next thing you know, months later, it's out on NBC. I won't name names, but NBC.
You know who you are. You know who you are.
But again,
we will find you.
Listen, you live and learn.
You have to,
and you take the punches as they come, and you just if you're creative enough and you have the tenacity, something else will come.
Yeah.
Something else will come.
Yeah. And the age of you just keep auditioning. No, you have to create.
Because you have to create.
Because now that the 4K phones.
LA40.
Shut your mouth.
Just name dropping. Just name dropping LA40.
Let me pick that up back up for you.
But just the ability and you could make people are making full movies on Snapchat. Yeah. YouTube Red, if anyone's still alive.
Yeah.
Over YouTube. Yeah. I don't know the story yet. I shouldn't make a joke, but
scary.
There are just endless formats, and as frustrating as it is, as I get older and watch a 20-year-old millionaire just do dumb stuff. Well, I look at it dumb, but but he's getting endorsed, and these guys and gals are making millions a year.
Yeah, they're getting advertised. I don't even know how that whole thing works anymore. Honestly, I don't.
Well, Sam has worked on
a beast.
Some shows, holiday stuff. She gets paid they pay a lot of money for the production people, and just these guys they're getting millions a year. and endorsements, just so, and they get shipped boxes of very expensive items just as long as they're on camera.
As long as they show them on camera.
They mention them or wear them, whatever it is. And
I think.
I mean, that's.
I feel like that's a little. I feel like it's going to be kind of a bubble. I don't. I think it'll evolve into something else, but I think this multi-million-dollar like Snapchat. Remember, like Vine was a huge thing for a while.
Oh, yeah.
It's like these things are going to be popular, but I think they're just going to have this ebb and flow until
they fade out.
Yeah, I think it's like the pendulum swing. I think eventually it'll find a little bit of a mainstream and kind of lock into that for a long period of time, like television has been, or things like that. Because
I agree.
It's just one of those things where it's the fads are happening faster and faster. I feel like.
That's what I think with the whole Kickstarter and GoFundMe stuff. I mean, I'm still working on several things, but like to be honest with you, film and stuff like that, unless you've already got a name or somebody that is ready on there to get it.
It's what people don't
We've
understand.
experienced that.
Yeah,
I mean, we experienced it firsthand.
Firsthand. And a lot of things that people don't understand with the Kickstarter and the crowdfunding kind of avenue is there's approaches to it that you have to take, and it has to be your life for like months at a time.
If not a year and a half. It's exhausting.
Is you're not at, like, people think you go in there and then people just give you money because they want to. Has nothing to do with it. You're literally begging people, over and over, same people, over and over until you really.
Thank you for your $5. Can you do another 10?
Yes, and
Thank
like,
you for
hey, we're trying to hit another goal.
Can you do another 50?
It is the worst kind of begging in my mind, and I.
It's typical.
It is, and it's like
Please, I have some
and I don't like it.
It's pitched like, hey, if you go on there and your project's good enough, people will give you money. It's not that way at all. No. It is literally, you are literally hunting down people, and then it's the same 20 people that you usually keep.
But the thing is, also, it depends. Like with that kind of stuff, it depends on what slot you get on their main. If you get on their main page, if you are, it's all about advertising. Are you going to pay the money to get on?
I think it's the topic. If it's a story about two men falling in love in L.A. It's just people want to pop. They want to donate to something that's like a hot in whatever the climate is right now, and
whatever the hashtag is at the time. Yeah.
But if you just
we all know what the hashtag of the time is right now.
And then oh man, I said that all wrong.
See, you say hashtag, but I'm still thinking pound. That's how old I am. Sorry, pound it out, yeah.
Pound me.
Pound me too.
Right. Me too.
Sorry.
Is that
I'm sorry.
Pound me too. Did you just try and call that person?
I'm not trying to make light of it, but
dial pound me too. You get harassed through the phone.
If I
by an overweight, older white male.
You live in LA long enough, you have to find some sarcasm in everything.
It is. I mean, we live in a very.
Because typically 9 times out of 10 you're disappointed with the results of whatever you're working on.
All right, I'll pull my pants back up. I'm sorry.
You're on camera. You can't lie to the camera, bud. So CGI.
Half the audience.
I've had them down the entire time.
We'll put a small sensor bar over it.
Well, just feels the same to me.
Oh God.
Where were we?
We're right here. We're right here.
But my journey is so new that I'm trying to take in consideration like all of those formats and everything that's going on. Like, for example, a couple of projects that I'm still involved with, super young, like this guy I just did the indie film with, who shot up in the mountains. This kid is 22. That was his 5th feature film.
Tenacious.
That's crazy.
And his 6th we're set to shoot this summer. He's got like all these people interested in it now. Like big names.
That's great.
There's the money. And he would, to credit your point of like, hey, you got to find people and create. Because like at the age of like auditioning and getting it is kind of over. Because unless you're on that short list, you'd be lucky to get a background role.
And these people are like I've worked with him before. Let's use him. It's a lot of that. It's a lot of.
Well, absolutely.
So
and to be honest with you,
they bring up their people because.
And to be honest,
they want to be that way.
Well, to be honest with you, I can understand that.
Yeah, I have no problem with that.
You know what you're getting.
You don't want to take a risk. I booked that guy, but I wanted to kill him, and I had to live with him for 2 months at a time.
Or I don't want to have to pay $50,000 for this casting director. Let's pay her $25,000, but let's cast these roles already. So these roles are already done with the people that we know. Pay her less or him less. Get the smaller parts. Blah blah blah. So I mean, I get it. I understand.
Yeah.
You know, and especially, again, it goes back to what we were just saying. why not? If you already have a relationship with somebody that you're working with, that you know that you get along with,
lower the risk. The less risk you have on that front, the less drama you have, and the more reliable and more comfortable and more everything. I think it's one of those things where like you see Adam Sandler and he's the same goddamn people in every fucking movie. But the reason is those people make it work. They're trustworthy.
They figured out the formula.
They already know what the finished product is going to be.
They know that it
make for $20 million. It's going to gross $100 million. Let's do that 10 times a year. Why wouldn't you?
We're going on vacation.
Yeah,
all together.
Yeah, it's like we're going on a resort, and then half the time we'll be working, half the time we'll be hanging out and just chilling.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's obviously the dream to get to that point, but it's kind of fun in the trenches right now too. To like we're working on.
It's fun in the trenches when you don't have to work 6 days a week to make.
Well, that's
to make your rent and bills.
It's hard too, but I feel like
you appreciate the process.
It's like anything else. It's the harder it is on this side, the better and happier you are to be on that side.
Well, I think the smarter and happier you are on the backside.
Yeah.
Because to be honest with you, I mean, like, I don't really care about the red carpet shit.
No.
I mean, it's fun, but to be honest with you, at the end of the day, that peace and tranquility of getting away, like getting into the mountains or getting out to the beach. I mean, we live in Hollywood. We're 10 miles away from the beach. I never go to the beach, and
I didn't go at all last year.
I grew up on the beach in Florida, and I never make it out there. Why? Because the traffic blows. Because I don't want to be honked at. I don't want to be cut off by every dirty,
Tom,
nasty
Dick, and Harry.
luxury car driver in LA, and then to act like it's my fault for them cutting me off.
Sure.
There are so many external elements that go into it. All like, and this goes back to what I was saying earlier. Like, I just want to be happy doing what I'm doing now, and I think you finally get to that point where it's just whatever you're doing, as long as you are enjoying yourself, then you've done it. You've succeeded.
Yeah, it's something. It's like you can be happy in the struggle, even the struggle isn't paying your bills.
Right.
It's one of it's that. I think that's part of the drive too. Is you find happiness in the smallest little pieces.
But it's nice to have 6 months in the bank.
It's literally just I feel like it's the icing on it. It really is. It's just the work is it's torturous, but we do it because it's the thing that kind of feeds our souls.
Well, this guy right here is pretty much the only reason I keep going to work.
Yeah.
Like bartending.
Yeah, you guys are a riot together.
I've been bartending.
You are the.
Well, not just.
You're my other half.
Not to switch gears.
Coffee mug.
Not to switch
Inside
gears,
joke.
but
It's outside.
honestly, I've been bartending for 20 something years, and
Since you were 8, wow.
yeah,
Cool.
it's crazy, right? Thanks, Mom and Dad. Child labor laws.
You made me make them drinks. You used to tip me. That was my allowance.
No, my allowance was a wine cooler.
Right.
At the end of every
Your allowance
shift.
is not getting your
Kidding.
ass
I'm
whooped,
totally joking. My parents were great. I just stole their wine coolers.
What a rebel.
My parents didn't drink
honestly-
wine coolers.
My parents did.
You grew up in Florida, I get it.
I did. Bartles and James, baby. Strawberry Hill, Boone's Farm. Suck it
Those
down.
were his gay parents.
Brown bag
Bartles
it.
and James.
Bartles and
Wait, what was that TV show back in the day? My Two Dads?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Stacy, what was her name? I had a crush on her.
My Two Dads, huh?
What was her name?
You bark up their own.
Well, I
tree.
mean, you were probably like maybe two.
I saw the reruns. You saw it. Prime time.
Scooby Doo.
Scooby Doods is the reboot.
Well done, sir.
Jinkies.
No, but I mean, honestly, the reason I still go into bartend every day, it's not the money. That's for sure. It's because it's my escape. I get to go have fun with people that I love to work with. Again, it always goes back to the people you love to work with. If you're not having a good time,
filing documents in a.
Oh, dude, I got my college degree. I got a degree in massage therapy. I've been around the block. I've done several different things. I keep going back to bartending. Why? Because it allows me the freedom to be who I am.
Yeah.
That was... I should have been working in West Hollywood.
I feel like you're
when I
about to
said
sing
that.
on American Idol.
But
just feel
I
at
need
home
to
on
be
stage.
free. No, but like
Yeah.
When you get to work with good people.
I don't know what he's talking about. It's a means to an end to me. I don't give a shit. I just do it until I'm full-time actor. That was cold. I'm kidding.
I thought you were a full-time actor, and you're still doing it. He can't quit me. You can't quit me.
Ever researching that role, right?
Hey, you can't quit me.
Well, I'm writing the Cocktails reboot, right? So just research, bud.
Can I please be Flanagan's? Well,
Flanagan's Wake.
I'm gonna be Coughlin's older cousin.
Older cousin. How old is Coughlin?
Exactly. Well, he's dead, but yeah.
Yeah.
No, but that's the whole thing. It's like I enjoy having fun because it still allows me to be creative.
Mm-hmm.
People that just think bartending is nothing more than pouring a drink for somebody is.
I just had a long conversation about that.
Yeah, this is what's pissing me off about what's happened to the bar industry in today's, like in the last several years.
Craft cocktails.
Fuck you, craft
Go
cocktails.
Away.
Craft cocktails and fucking gastropubs.
Well, you spent 6 minutes making a drink. I made $300.
Yes, and your 6 minutes of making that drink cost somebody $18. They're gonna have one drink and then they're gonna walk the fuck out the door. Mm-hmm. I'm tired of this bullshit. Go back to the days of actually having fun when
Jack
you go
and
out.
Cokes.
It doesn't even have to be a Jack and Coke, but I mean, just simply having fun when you go out to a fucking bar. You don't have to Snapchat every fucking drink you order.
Right.
Mm-hmm. What is that?
Oh my God! Look at this little sprig. It's
What's
so
that
nice.
blue drink you made?
Why are you frosting this? Why are you zesting that orange peel? No, it's like.
Why is there a fruit and vegetable garden on your bar?
And
we have $20.
And that's why bars close down, literally, because you can't afford to have an organic fucking tray of blueberries, blackberries, gooseberries, fucking everything that goes into
Snozberries.
The snozberries taste like snozberries. No, you
What
can't.
are those cherries that are super expensive?
The black ones?
The old fashioned.
That's what she said. Stop it.
Whiskey sour.
No,
what's that?
not
Cherry?
No.
Manischewitz. No, that's a
No, the maraschino.
Maraschino.
Okay, but not the red ones, the actual black ones.
Yeah.
That come in the thick syrup.
Yeah.
Thick.
Super.
I don't ever want to hear
not so
you say,
long, but
I don't ever want to hear you say thick syrup again.
not making eye contact like that. Not over my lap,
Right?
boys.
No, but that's honestly that is what has kind of destroyed that part of the industry, because when people go out, they want to have a good time. They want to escape their everyday life. It's the same reason we go to
But
movies.
it's acceptable in like uppity Beverly, a bar that's meant for that. Fine.
Yeah, but fucking
People are just
in Sherman
opening
Oaks.
They're like popping up
they're-
and training people to do that.
There's a certain bar that I work at that will rename nameless right now.
Rename nameless?
Rename.
Remain.
Remain nameless. Sorry, my water's kicking in.
Yeah, there it is.
Remain nameless that had an amazing setup. The way everything worked in that bar was perfect. All they had to do was fix it up a little bit.
The college bar.
But what they did was they wanted to make it like everything else. And
A little more bougie.
in the area that they set it up in,
Super
it
not
didn't work.
bougie.
It didn't work.
And right
that's-
next to it is a 7-Eleven. Yeah. A place with dollar tacos.
Which are delicious, by the way.
Gavilan?
I don't like that.
Oh.
Way to throw the fucking name out there.
Hey,
Cheers.
they're going to be a sponsor. After this guy shit on them.
No, it's one of those things where it's like you try to reinvent the wheel. When you try to reinvent the wheel,
Cockroaches, actually.
if something's working, you don't have to fix it.
Yeah.
Well, you have to fix it up, but you don't have to fix it.
Minimal maintenance.
I feel like, especially working in the corporate world when it comes to day jobs, it is literally someone's job to make a problem of something that wasn't broken, and then give it a shittier solution. It's just that you gotta people that have jobs and they gotta have something to do.
Yeah.
And I feel like when it comes to the restaurants are trying to get more corporate-y as they kind of go along, even though they're not corporations. They kind of have the same you have the same experience every single time. Mm-hmm. When a unique experience with a unique bartender or server is kind of
it's hard.
a little more interesting.
How do you maintain the same kind of service or experience, whatever, when you're in Hollywood?
Yeah.
When 1 minute you've got some guy or gal that just flew in with their buddies and just want to get hammered. And
Just
then there's a big
straight
time writer
main
producer
veining
that
it.
walks in and wants to sit in the corner and have it old fashioned, and then you got the bum that snuck in and he's taking a dump in the corner.
Well, you learn
you
how to
had all of that going on.
you learn how to read every situation.
Exactly.
And you let that bum finish, because you're going to have more trouble if you try to stop him midstream than if you just
Might as well
let him
shovel
finish.
one big old dump. Then the trail out the door
It's true.
that your barback or Buster Trevor has to clean up.
Where's Lucy when you need him? Yeah.
Okay.
Nicely
was
done.
nice.
Keep it down.
inside joke on that.
No, it's just a celebratory.
Oh, I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it, Mike. So
Anyway,
Nathan,
anyway, that's how I feel about the bar industry right now. But yes, I digress.
I was curious as Nathan's couple of favorite stories or experiences in the industry that you love, and then the industry that pays your bills.
Yeah, I don't have as long
Until they're one and the same.
right.
That's what yeah.
The laundry list of is not as long as y'all's, as it were.
Nice,
But,
nice drop on Southern
you know,
accent.
Hi, mime shit.
I pulled out when I need to. That's what she said.
That's
So
what you should say.
have said it
You
maybe
pig.
time or two. Anyway, it's been
1 week.
It's too easy. It's never ending. I love it. It's just I love it.
Three of us should not hang out.
Usually there's a bar between us, which is a little you know.
And you're drunk, and I'm less drunk.
Nah, that's not true. That's not true at all. Gotta get through the night. Anyway, yeah. So
I'm going to the bathroom. Give me some.
just a little,
Get the shovel.
Get the shovel.
The bum's here.
I've had an interesting story with a lot of like guerrilla style, like fuck it, let's do it kind of projects, which has kind of been
That's what she said.
where I've found my footing, which has been fun because I like to think outside the box. I like to find solutions to problems that.
That's what she said.
Stop saying
I quit.
anything
Turn it
else.
off. Done.
So yesterday I was at this audition. That's what she said.
It never ends.
Yeah. Speaking to the mic.
Sorry, go ahead. You were thinking outside the box.
I was thinking outside the box. I like to think outside the box because that's where I feel like the most creativity happens. And Jesus Christ, you're a fucking 4,
Sorry.
You know, I thought this was going to be serious.
right? You can't take him anywhere, really, literally. And he's a child.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, it's been a lot of like fun guerrilla style, just kind of making whatever you can on a small infinitesimal budget if there is one at all. So I have a lot of fun stories about that.
Infinitesimal.
Infinitesimal.
I'm going to use it.
All right, it's hilarious.
Is it like infant decimal, like the small version?
No,
Just Google it later. We don't have time.
Thank you.
it's that Florida education.
Name drop.
So no, I think a couple of them have been when I was in Vegas. I had some fellas that we were kind of working on some short films and things like that. I mean, so I shot a zombie short film in one day, from dusk to dawn, and it was.
You were in that?
It's a great movie. Early days, with the early years,
Here we are in your closet.
right? It's a big closet though. I can afford it.
Oh, Jesus, help me.
Jesus is not here to help you.
Well,
He was there Sunday. He's risen.
Yeah, we had some. What's funny is we hired people to be the zombies, and we had about 30 people show up.
Or you couldn't find any?
Did you pay him in brains? Oh, yeah.
Barely in sandwiches, but what was cool is they were a zombie apocalypse preparedness group.
What?
Yeah, so they're like a legitimate.
That exists?
Yeah, it's a legitimate group, and they actually get a small infinitesimal again amount of money from the government. Yep,
I weep for our tax
and it is
future.
literally
Probably from government here in California.
no. This is
No,
Nevada. This is
sorry.
Nevada.
He said Nevada.
Yeah,
California
so
Junior.
it is basically they would have meetings and they'd have like here's good. It's basically preppers essentially, but with a zombie twist. But we showed up to a meeting of theirs and we're like, hey, do you guys want to be zombies for a little project? And they're like, sure, let's do it. And so we actually had them show up, and it was a drive to get these people out there. But it was a ghost mining town called Nelson, Nevada. and there's an abandoned mine that we shot in, and it was amazing. And actually, have you ever seen the movie 3,000 Miles to Graceland?
Yes.
The gas station scene where the airplane blows up, it's the airplane where the pumps are underneath. Mm-hmm. That's that location.
I don't kidding.
Yeah. So they charge ridiculous amounts for people to shoot out there.
Yes.
But it was a friend of a friend scenario. I was like, yeah, do it around. We'll just do it for a day. There's an abandoned barn. There's all sorts of fun stuff. So that was a lot of fun. Probably one of my favorites. We had one guy who was so into it that at the last scene we were shooting, he had to jump up and try and pull himself onto this loft ledge. Mm-hmm. And he did it so many times after running all day long that he vomited everywhere with exhaustion. Like he literally just gave it all. Because it's Nevada and it was like, 1,000 degrees and, but he was having so much fun, and he became the kind of the main zombie in the thing. Mm-hmm. It's on Vimeo still somewhere. But
it's a vomit. I want to see it. No,
it's just a gif of vomit the whole time.
I can't.
But that was one of my favorite ones. And then it got me unfortunately those guys disbanded, and we kind of all went our separate ways. I came out to LA, and one of them actually ended up working on Counting Cars and Pawn Stars, oddly enough. So another one moved to Malaysia and became a giant DJ. It's just it's funny what they do with their lives, but they all have super talent, and there's Vegas is not the place to find people that are into film production. It's just not. But reason I moved out there to begin with was CSI was the biggest show. It's like 2007, and every channel you flipped to had Vegas in the background. It was just it was huge, right? And then my first month there, I worked on the MTV Video Music Awards. Because they were at the Vegas. So, but then
they were at the Vegas.
They were at the Vegas.
The Vegas.
But then the economy crashed, and literally the whole town dried up. Nothing happening. So it took me like 3.5 years to kind of get my ass out to LA finally, and then.
How long ago? How long have you been here now?
8 years now.
8 years. Wow.
Yeah, 8.5 almost.
And what year did you move here?
6 years ago. Just over 6 years. 6 years and a couple months.
So 2012.
2011. Like the end of 2011.
Yeah, because I was going to say, I was still working on Happy Ending.
Yeah, at the end of 2011 is when I got here, and then I just I wanted my goal was to find some work and establish myself, so I didn't have to go home right after I ran out of money.
Right. Yeah, that's always the biggest fear for all of us.
Yeah. But that carried into 3-4 years later, managing one bar. 60 hours a week. Jumped up here and worked on the boulevard. Managed another bar.
That's how they get you.
3 years. Yeah, they take
that's
what you
get.
They take more than whatever you say yes to. They're just gonna keep giving it to you.
And that's how you lose. That's how you lose your focus. And I hate saying that.
That's true.
Because you have to pay your bills, and you have to. You have responsibilities, but they know that, and they prey upon that.
Of course.
So.
And I don't blame anybody for anything.
Listen, you got your business. I get it.
Everyone's trying to make a dollar. It's just a matter of how soul sucking that dollar is that drives you to do something else.
What it comes down to is what are you willing to do, and how far are you willing to go to get where you want to be.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
And I've seen so many people. Go ahead. Sorry.
Cost benefit analysis. What is the risk? What is the reward? And a lot of us get settled into this. I'm still working. I'm still doing it, but they're not doing it as I'm a prime example of that. I have a somewhat corporate gig that I got good health insurance. I get paid pretty decently. My hours are pretty flexible. My boss is dope as hell. It's kind of a little bit of a coddling that if I literally had a worse job with a worse boss with worse pay, I would be working harder to get out of it.
Yeah.
But it's at the same time as I'm putting in as much effort as I can, and getting as much creativity out of that process. And luckily, my boss is one of the greatest people I've ever known. He's very encouraging to, dude, you gotta get out of here. He sees the drive and the talent and the interest, and he doesn't want to be there either. He wants to do his own creative thing. But he's got caught in the trap too. He had a kid early on, and he got stuck, and he's getting paid very well, very quickly. And they moved him on up, and now he's in the supervisor role or a manager role, and he barely wants to be there. He'd rather step down almost to give him more freedom and less stress.
I will say this, and I don't say this lightly. To get serious for a brief moment.
Do you have your tissues?
Oh my God.
Tissues.
I don't surround myself with bad people, or at least I try not to. And I've known you for quite a while. The one thing that I've seen about you is the tenacity that you have and the love that you have for what you do. And I understand when you lay awake at night, like you can't sleep because your brain just keeps going like this.
Oh,
I understand.
Just the wheel.
And the same thing with you. I understand.
Yeah.
There is something going on. There's a mechanism inside you going on that you just can't stop.
100%.
Therefore, or it's with that you know that you're in it for the long haul.
Yeah.
Because if you were to jump ship and get out now, your soul would be tormented. No, well, you would be tormented for the rest of your life.
The what ifs would drive me insane.
You are going to be tormented, and the same thing with you.
Yeah.
This is why you surround yourself with the people that you know that even if you don't have a huge budget to work on something, you have so much gear now. Like this guy has so much gear that he can actually shoot a film by himself.
I've been looking at that Black Magic since I. If
he has the talent on board to do what he wants with stuff, like he can shoot a movie by himself that's been the goal for a long time. Without even bringing like an outside budget on.
Right. That's been a big part of the goal is when I have money, I'll buy things that I know I'll need eventually. I don't need it now, but if I find the money that can get it now and get a good deal for it, I will I'll purchase it, put it on a shelf, and it's there when I need it.
But that's what I mean. Like you have that drive, you have that determination.
Yeah. You
have that drive, you have that determination.
Mm-hmm. And we all learned it from watching you, Dad.
That's not true. No, but in all honesty,
I get it because I had to cut out all that poison.
Yeah.
And get
it's
away. It's
very easy to get caught up in that bullshit.
Get away from the job. Like I made the leap. Like I had a falling out with the bar. Worked in the Boulevard for 3 years, and it ended up catapulting me into like just taking that leap and saying, "Screw it! I'm not going to put all my love and energy into that. Like it's got to be about this." And if it conflicted with that, even if I wasn't making money on this project, I didn't care. It was a relationship in the industry that I loved. It was meeting people in the industry that I loved.
There's no better networking than being on set. No,
and I'm still like
or behind a bar.
Yeah, but you know what? Like you said, I was literally, I had just zeroed out of money, and I was about to call Pop. Like, the dreaded. Dad. No, he's my biggest fan.
That's good.
Which is
support. That's kind of the support.
Willing, that'll stay that way for a while. But he's my biggest fan, and he's always, "What do you need? You think you want some money?" I'm like, "No, Dad, I'll be all right." Yeah. But I was literally zeroed out when you're like, "Hey, you want to come work Wednesdays with me?"
I needed you though, but that's the thing. I needed you there. It just everything happens for a reason. Yeah. As cliche-ish as that is to say.
Now it's so funny how this town has taught me the value of cliches. They were born in Hollywood.
They were born in
hard work.
The only reason they're cliches is because you saw them on TV and they were rerun over and over again.
Yeah.
I don't know. We've lived them for I don't know how long,
right?
brother.
But now nothing will interfere. Like with the indie film I just did over in the winter, I just like, Justin, our boss, I'm like, I get if you got to do what you got to do, but I'm gonna go run up in the mountains for a month and make a movie.
You have to.
And he's like, don't worry about it, man. Just hit me up when you get back.
And there's a lot. There's a lot.
And that is, you don't hear that a lot in Hollywood. Dude. Like you're gone. We'll find a replacement.
But again, that's why we take. But here's the thing. That's why we take the pay cut to work at the places we do, because those people understand that. Listen, this is not a lifelong goal.
Yeah.
Like bartending is not a lifelong goal. You do it to make your lifelong goal happen.
Yeah.
So when you meet up with those people, and you're working together.
Somewhere else.
Sometimes the buses take a little longer to come than others.
And sometimes there's homeless people sitting next to you on them.
And that's true too. But you're well on your way, and it was actually having you come on and work with me was a blessing.
Yeah.
Sorry. Didn't mean to get emotional.
I should do a shot for that one. No, trust me, I like as small as that token was, like because I was in Hawaii and I only thought of like a couple people I was there. You're one of them.
Thank you.
And like I thought, I'm getting that for Vinny. I'm sitting there because my girlfriend and I went to Hawaii, and I just bought like some sort of bar gift, but it's just like it's very symbolic of because he and I don't need anything.
No,
we just need.
Well, he needs a lot of things, but it's a whole podcast.
Well, shit that we can't give him.
Yeah. lungs,
Antibiotics.
But like
A babysitter.
My point with that, and then we'll go back to making fun of
Everything.
everything else. Just Vinny is the kind of guy that he just appreciates a good person, a good, honest person. Yeah, that works hard, and he needs nothing more than that from you in order to be commit to you as a friend. And
100%.
And
He knows
He's waiting for a pound. Oh, I thought he was waiting for a pound.
No, I'm
Just the way you were saying. Sorry.
No, he just spit into his palm. I don't know what he's got.
And we're back.
And we're back. So I recently shot an episode of Goliath.
I digress.
Let me talk about the episode of Goliath I shot.
As you should. Hey, man.
Yeah,
throw it out
actually,
there. Throw it out there.
Let me talk about the 7 things I have in post right now.
Let people know.
I love Goliath.
Well, if they haven't tuned out an hour in here,
yeah.
We're an hour 21 in.
oh my golly. Oh, man.
Last
I
story.
I can't really talk about a whole lot of it, but I had the chance to work on Goliath, and when I booked it, like, oh, you booked it, and it was the day after I auditioned, and it's like, oh yeah, you just booked it, no call back. I'm like, oh, okay, that's wonderful. It was my first audition with my new agent, and so I find
You
out.
have an agent?
So
I'm sorry, I'm just kidding.
I actually just fired my manager. Literally 3 hours ago. Yeah,
Amazing.
not fired. It was more like, dude, let's just
Not working.
I got some other stuff.
You're my boy.
6 months is up.
Yeah. Plus, I don't want to give you 10% of what I'm about to make on these 2 films. But no, I'm kidding.
Fair enough. No, you're
No,
not.
that
No, you're not.
came from somewhere, didn't it? No, it wasn't like that. But yeah, it was as much as I can divulge is that it was my first legitimate sex scene.
Toss tray.
Yeah.
Tell him, brother.
I don't know if I can say a whole lot, but and then after that same week, I shot a pilot where I played this husband, and with lovey-dovey scene work. So it was like twice in 1 week, and I live with my girlfriend, and boy, that put a wrench. Yeah. Oh, I thought it was over after that. I mean, like, oh man, it was very difficult because it was a very, very rough week. But that was my intro to like working on like a big studio project or network thing, and it was just filled with sex and drugs.
So average weekend.
And
What we all
it had
aspire
to be
to.
like, and it happened to be arguably the hottest chick in television. So I'm very excited about that.
You gotta
There's
love
been
that.
worse days, I'm sure.
Yeah. So yeah, like simulating sex for an entire day with this woman when all the wheels came off, if that makes sense on radio. It was just good.
Wait, I don't understand that. Please elaborate.
You can show him later.
No, I'm just kidding.
I did show. I showed him on his balcony
Oh, yeah. Well.
when
I remember my first sex scene.
Well, it was weird. I was on Sequest, and they turned around and said, "Put that away, Vincent Flood." And
I was
said,
like, but it's lunchtime. We're on break.
"But I have an audition for Kids Incorporated later."
Call back.
Who's running the dolphin?
There was a guy that ran that dolphin, by the way.
Yeah.
And I had no idea until I was on set that was not a real dolphin. I thought it was a real dolphin. Yeah. So God bless them for having such great prosthetics back in the 90s.
But what you're saying about like having like a really tight crew, just in general out here, it really goes, from my experience, into the TV and film industry, because like the film I just did, like we were talking about, we became brothers.
Yeah.
Really, brothers and sisters. So there's several females in the cast as well. We're all just so tight. Like 7 a.m. was the alarm every day. 7 a.m. 7 a.m. my alarm went off, which was my big Sony portable speaker that blared 70s rock music. We were ready to party by 7:30. I won't tell you what happened between 7 and 7:30, but we were ready to shoot this wild, maniacal film.
You were in Big Bear?
This is Crestline, and
Wait, so mounds of snow?
it was no snow.
You sure?
You would know.
Reference noted. For everyone listening.
Sorry. I snorted.
You're 5.
Listen,
These are my friends, ladies and gentlemen. These are the people I care about.
if I could be 5,
I want to
years younger than...
I just want to name drop this kid because this kid's
Please do
22. That was his 5th. His name is Isaac Medeiros. I went to a screening of a film of his fourth feature a couple of years ago, and just like someone referred like, oh, you should be friends with this guy on Facebook. He's making movies. He just moved down here, blah blah blah. So we followed each other, and he posted something about a premiere. I went to the premiere, and I'm just blown away. Like, this kid at the time was 20. I'm like, this is for the film. Like, this kid is insane. Like, this kid did this by himself. He shot, edited everything himself, and there was people. Oh, this row of suits behind me. Like, you gotta see this kid. You gotta see what this kid's doing. And so I'm like,
Hollywood.
Yeah, it was weird. Like, these guys just, and I hear this guy say he's the next Tarantino, and I was thinking the whole film, like, this kid's Tarantino like that, and it turns out it's, now he's my brother, kind of, that's his style, and I showed you that teaser for our film, and I was walking out of the lobby, and I just hear him scream, Danny! And it was him. He was in the middle of his crew of people wanting to talk to him, and he just came up and said, thanks for coming, and I was like, that's a good kid. He's a good dude. And then we just stayed in touch, and then he hit me up about the movie Elvis. He's like, I think you're good with this. So I ended up auditioning in front of Dan Tana's in West Hollywood. It was him, one of the leads, or two leads.
You had to audition
on
dinner?
the street. He's like, I thought we were gonna go somewhere. He was like, let's go, meet me outside in 5 minutes. So I go, it's him and his three producers, and we did this scene, and I was like,
this is a Hollywood story.
I know it is, and I'm like, you know what? Kevin Connolly comes up in the middle of it.
You gotta love
everything.
You gotta love E.
Yeah, he pulls up, and Isaac's like, hold on a second, Kevin. They go shake and hug. I'm in like mid character. I'm like ready to kill somebody.
I'm not gonna break.
Like, oh, but that's the guy from Entourage. I love him. But but here and now he's got, this will be feature film number 6. That's amazing. He's got some names, he's got the money, and the point to and he said it like halfway through Elvis, the film that we just shot. He's like, you guys are my crew. He's talking to Michael Belisario and I and his longtime friend Jeff, who's his co-writer buddy. It's like, this is my crew, man. We're gonna make 2 movies a year for the rest of our lives.
That's fantastic.
And you're gonna win an Oscar, or I'm gonna die trying for you. And to hear a guy say that to you is
that means something.
Real powerful.
Yeah.
And if you're an actor,
I just want to win rent. Yeah.
I just want to get paid. Yeah. So, because I don't care about the money yet, because I haven't been exposed to it in life. I just want to work and
wait till you have a child.
Yeah.
But I will say, I'm
fixed. It's fine.
Going back to everything we said before.
Does it make him broken?
It always comes down to the people that you love and the people that you love to be around, and making it work to where the people that you love to be around are around you all day long, to where you work together and then you drink together or you have dinner together or whatever, but you are surrounded by people you love no matter what.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, life goes by way too quick.
Yeah. The hardest day you have is going to be
something that I've learned throughout my years. Life goes by way too quick, and all you really have are the people around you that you enjoy their company. Yeah. Make it count.
Yep.
Yeah. So work with those people.
And arrange whoever you are and whatever you're doing and whatever your dream is, just arrange your life so your dream is the focal point and everybody fits into it without being, not in a selfish way.
Yeah, not forcefully, not
it's simply organic.
But
Make it organic.
I think it happens organically too, because it's like you talk about it. He had his childhood friend who is his writing partner and things like that. Yeah. Those things, like, you have to have a mutual interest, and then it's grown from there, and it's locked into a mutual dream or a mutual desire, whatever it may be. And I think that we've found in the people we associate with, I think we've definitely found whatever that is. Yeah. And the goal is to carry it to the finish line.
I agree.
Yeah, over and over and over again.
I know we're running longer than anybody expected us to, so with that, I would like to finish this podcast with a toast.
With a half a toast.
Here's to us.
Here's to them.
And those that wish they were us.
There's 0 of them out there, but
soon enough.
Soon enough, my friends. Cheers. Love you.
Thank you guys for popping in and hanging out and popping in.
The innuendos flying.
They're
flying around tonight.
We have a flashing innuendo in the screen.
Can we meet happy hour 4 a.m.?
Can we meet 10 to 1 every night?
Oh yeah, let's do
yours truly, Marlon Wayans.
You guys want to do social media plugs or anything so people can follow you and keep track of what you got going on?
I mean, honestly, for me, you can always go to 3roadsentertainment.com, see what our projects are, see what we have going on. You can go to vinnyflood.com.
I've never been there. I'll never go there.
You shouldn't. It's sinful.
Daniel O'Reilly.
IMDb.
IMDb.
Esquire.
Yeah. But yeah, Elvis, the feature film, is in post. 31 Guns for Francesca Cortez, a Western. 2-hour Western, start shooting this summer. Season 2 of Goliath, that has not aired yet. And a show called Psy, Dark Arts, shot by the Oscar-nominated director Brian Metcalf. That will be out soon. 100 Yards, starring Sean Patrick Flannery. I mean, a handful of like indie flicks that are making their indie circuit.
I love that indie's got its own like kind of resurgence right now. It's like indie films because you get them on Netflix and all these other places. But
listen, if you have Netflix, please look up season 3 of Sequest and look for the few scenes that I'm in every episode.
He's hiding in the background and falling down the stairs.
I'm the guy on the computer. I'm the guy falling down the stairs. Enhance.
But no, I truly appreciate it, guys. I think that's enough for one day. They're probably sick of us already. So we'll wrap it up. But I appreciate you guys coming and letting us break in the studio.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
have a good old time.
Should we? I don't really think we heard a lot of like bad words and things. Should we just a flurry of fuck and shits? Maybe a political joke.
If you have you keep going back to political. I know you want.
He wants to be controversial.
You're pro fucking Republican.
No, I'm right, just in the middle.
You're
almost.
just in the middle.
Yeah.
No, literally, you're just.
I know he doesn't like Trump.
Let's not even get into it. We're too late into this
Too
thing.
late. Yeah, that's like
All right.
the next one.
Fair enough.
Trump is an ass.
That's my other podcast, which is I'm gonna start
Church
doing
of Common Sense.
Church of Common Sense. I'm gonna do that one pretty shortly. This is politics, religion, and culture, so that would be a fun one.
Tall dicks.
That's that's another podcast.
Say polydicks,
Short and wide.
which
dicks.
means many dicks. I think.
Coffee mugs.
Coffee mugs. And then we're gonna end it on coffee mugs. Everyone.
Christ Almighty. Yeah.
I thank you, gentlemen, and make sure to follow, share, and like if you can, and then make sure to subscribe on YouTube so the video can get loved everywhere.
And also, still, it's on Cinemax. Watch 12 rounds. I get residuals.
He needs some resids.
And God bless Rick Warren.
Okay.
Southback Church. Baby.
Yeah.
There it is. Thanks, guys. Peace out.